and welcome to my kitchen. It is a nice rainy fall day. It's going to be a little bit loud. My birds are in the house. My son's in the house. My husband and father-in-law are out working on the new house. And they wanted sandwiches for lunch. So I am going to make some bread rolls today. Let's get started. Okay. I have got 1 cup of milk that I put a tablespoon of yeast and just a little sprinkle of sugar over the top. I've got that sitting to the side so that it can get all nice and frothy. Into my stand mixer here, I'm going to add 3½ cups of flour. 2 and 3. Well, 3. I need to get some more flour out. There's a half. And if you're not spilling a little bit along the way, are you even baking? Okay. And to this, I need to add some salt. I misplaced my spoon. Alright, I need a teaspoon of salt here. So, there's my salt. Just gonna gently mix that together. Now I'm not adding sugar to my flour, as I just added a little bit to my yeast and milk. The milk will help these rolls stay kind of fluffy. And I'm just gonna make a little well right here. All right. I've got that all mixed in there. Now I'm gonna take my warm yeast, pour that down in that little well I just made. Make sure you're getting all that out of your container. Give it a good little scrub down. Move this out of the way. Take my bread hook. And let's get this mixing up. Okay. I've got my dough mixed here. I know, my bowl always sticks. Alright, I'll deal with that in just a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this a quick little hand knead. But first, I'm going to move my mixer out of the way. Alright, I have got my space cleaned up here. I'm going to put just a little bit of flour down because I want to give it a quick hand knead. The mixer is old and I've had it for years. My husband got it for me for a Christmas gift 5-6 years ago. Anyway, I need to take it apart and like grease it and put a new seal in it. Something I need to do here really soon. So my dough is here. It's a clean dough. My bowl looks good. So I'm just going to put some olive oil in my bowl here. Give this a quick little... I just didn't want my mixer doing all of the work for me this morning. So I'm going to knead this really quick. Now that I've got my dough all kneaded up into a nice little ball, I'm going to place it back in here and cover it with some plastic. And let this rise in a nice warm spot. I'll let it rest for about 30 to 40 minutes, and then I'll come back and I'll make my buttons. Okay, my dough is looking absolutely amazing here. It's doubled in size. So I'm going to just spritz a little oil down. I've got my baking tray lined with parchment paper, and I put a spritz of olive oil on it. So now, time for the dough. Do you see how that just plopped? Okay. All right. I'm going to cut this in half. And then quarter it. And then I will take each quarter and cut them in half so that we end up with 8 pieces. Move my bowl out of the way there. Let's see here. I want them roughly to be the same size. Some of them are going to be a little bit or a little smaller. So I'm just going to shape this into a round ball. Just I'm going to just give them a little smash. Just kind of flatten them out a little bit so they'll be wider. And they'll look more like a bun. Now at this point, if you want to brush them with a little bit of an egg wash and then put like sesame seeds or something like that on there, you can. I am actually out of sesame seeds, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my plastic wrap here, get it unstuck where it all kind of stuck together, and just lightly cover the rolls. I might need to get just a little bit more plastic to cover these, or if you have a tea towel or something like that, you can cover them with that. So I am going to get these finished covered and then let them rest for about 10 minutes before I put them in the oven. All right, I'm going to get these set over here in a warm place to rise. I've got those rising. I'm going to get my area cleaned up and then I'll get ready to put them in the oven. Got to put you to work somehow, huh? Here, watch out, don't knock the brownies. My son is doing his math. All right, my rolls are looking good. I don't want them really tall. I want them kind of more spread out. I'm just going to give them a very light little tap. And now they're time to go in the oven. I've got my oven preheated to 350. And I'm going to let these cook for 10 minutes. I'll check them. They may need a little additional time, but just keep an eye on them. My timer has just gone off, so let's check these rolls here real quick. Got a nice light brown. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn my oven off. I'm gonna let these sit a little bit to cool down before I start assembling their lunch. All right, I've got my rolls sliced here. I'm going to put a little mayo on them. And then I fried up some bacon. My husband likes his extra crispy, almost burnt. So I'm going to place that on there. And then give my father-in-law some bacon here. And I've got enough left over for my son. Give Pap one more. All right, I don't have any cheese slices, but I've got some of my grated cheese. So I'm just going to put some grated cheese right on top of that bacon. And then I've got some mixed greens, tomatoes, and some onion here. I'm going to place on each sandwich. Sorry for the noise in the background. My son is playing and being goofy today. All right, let me get some tomato on here. And I'm going to take a little salt and pepper. Oh, that one's trying to escape. Let me tuck it back in. And then my onion slices. These lovely bacon sandwiches. I'm going to get these plated up and taken out so they can eat. Thank you for joining me today, and as always, happy baking!